Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those that are here with us today. Let me see. Topic today, my family, those that are tuning in any part of the world. Topic today is appreciation. Appreciate your numbers. March Madness versus Madness and Numerovational love. That is the topic for today. Happy March 1st as we're marching into the spring equinox. A lot of things are happening around the world that may try to bring you down, may try to weigh heavy in your hearts. But just maintain focus in 2020. Now, a lot of people know that I am the numerovationalist, using the hybrid form of numerology to give people guidance. And it's very important that we recognize that guidance is all around us and how we need to really start with the inner work. Those that acknowledges chakras, you need to level up your chakras, balance off yourself, forgive yourself. So those that are watching me, I want you to share this. I want you to share this with your friends. I want you to share this with your family. I want you to share it on your social media. I want you to share this video because I'm going to talk about appreciation of your numbers, appreciating your numbers, appreciate your numbers, and March happiness versus March madness. And then numerovational love, which all is working in tandem with each other, you know? And because we're in the month of March, and the month of March in the study of numbers is equivalent to number three, the high power energy of the number three is about optimism, is about being joyous and joyful and jovial because we're heading into the spring equinox. We're springing out of the winter this month. In certain parts of the world, you're going to see that. You're going to see, of course, the leaves start to budding. And it's very important that in a month of March, because it resonates with the number three energy. And three, I always tell people that numbers have duality. And if you don't pay attention to duality, it can lead you into another direction where I might call the constructive, the obstructive, and the destructive. The constructive, the obstructive, and the destructive. So it's very important that a lot of us work this three energy that we're receiving in this number 3 month of the year 2020. Now, universally, if you add the three plus 2020, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4 plus the 3, and 3 equals 7. So it is also universally this month deals with spirituality, raising of your spiritual consciousness, your internal consciousness, your internal understanding of things, finding and researching the deeper meaning of life, the deeper meaning of life, and acknowledging what are some of the past things that you've been through, what you've gone through, because right now you're preparing for spring cleaning right now before spring comes in. And because we're marching into spring, it's always beneficial for all of us to not only clean ourselves internally, because we're starting with self, but externally. So, like I've been doing personally, and I've been doing it since basically my birthday of February the 1st. But as March started coming in strong, I put away a bag on the side that whatever clothing I'm not wearing anymore, whatever shoes that I'm not wearing, whatever I'm not keeping or not using frequently anymore, I'm putting it in a bag so I can give it away to charity, give it away to the Salvation Army or a church or whatever. Wherever or whoever will accept the charitable donation from you, this is a time for your beginning of your spring cleaning. So when the new season of spring comes in around March 22nd, so we got 22 days. Master number, or 21 days, 21 to 22 days. And usually it takes 21 to 22 days to break a habit. Yes, usually it takes 21 to 22 days to break a habit. That's why you hear about a lot of people doing 21-day cleanses, 21-day detoxes, because the 21 is the expansive energy, the growing energy, and the 22, that day after the 21, represents the building, because that's why 22 is the master builder in numerology. That's the master builder in numerology. And that's why 21 days are very significant. 21st, the 21 days that you do any detox or cleansing, whether you're cleansing your house, whether you reshifting things around, and that's what I find myself doing. I added a new table. I started shifting and putting certain things in perspective, and also shifting my mind. So I implore all of you to do the same thing as we're going in and marching into what we call spring, or the spring equinox, and prepping for the new spring season, cleansing yourself out. So numerovationally, I'm speaking from a love frequency, because I've learned to love myself and still growing into loving myself and appreciating my numbers. And I want all of you to appreciate the numbers that you were born on. I had a very interesting session with an individual this weekend. And I want to thank all of those that's been supporting, coming for the sessions with me, doing Numerovation Sessions with me. I want to thank everybody that was on Brother Rich's live with myself and Lloyd Strayhorn, one of the great elders in this astro-numerology segment. And as he know and I know, it is important to at least give our audience respect, because our audience mean a lot to us. And as I bear out my information of numerovation to you through the numbers to give you the beginning of guidance for yourself, I want you to intake and hold it in and really research what myself, Lloyd Strayhorn does, what Ra Aku does, what Aquarius Maxim does, what Blue Pill does, what all of us do. Really look within yourself when you do a session with us in any capacity, on any numerologist or astrologer or tarot reader and all that. Remember, this is the year, and these are the years of the emotional and intuitive awakening. From the time we got out of 1999 up to the 2000s now. And like I've said on numerous occasions on this channel, King Simon Presents, anytime you add zero, you add a depth of an open void. It's like an open door. And doors swing open both ways. So when you see that zero or that oval shape, it can go in or you could go out. And you can have extremely positive or extremely negative energies, extremely high or extremely low. Because remember, the energies are the same. They're just different, two different polarities, one being the lower energy, one being the higher energy. But it is up to you, the individual in this realm, to help your children, help your nephews, your nieces, your grandparents to excel or to maintain a higher level of a tangible thing, which is numbers and mathematics. And remember, numerology just means the study of numbers. So any form of studying of numbers, from the very esoteric to the very abstract to the mathematics, that is numerology. And so my system that I'm sharing with you and the world is going to go forth even further. It's not, to me, it's not just about reading your positive and negative. It's about helping you to activate the numbers that's within you and that you're connected to your birthday and your name specifically. And then you taking 21 to 22 days out of your life to really resonate on the higher energy of each interpretation of the number. So whether you're born from 1 all the way through 9, whether you're born on the 20th, the 10th, the 30th of the month, or whether you're born on the 11th or the 22nd of the month, of which I consider the 10, the 20, and the 30th of the month, I consider master number potential because of the frequency or the vibration of the zero that follows it adds potential. And because master numbers in quote unquote numerology is the 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Those are what we call the master numbers. And then look at the angel numbers. And remember that all these numbers have duality. Now, I'm not going to be here for too long because I know the attention span of our human existence is something else. But once again, the topic is appreciate your numbers. March happiness versus March madness. They like to call this March madness because there's a lot of stuff going on, especially in America. They're dealing with the March madness, the belief of basketball and all that stuff. I was never too much into that for some reason because although I was one that used to party and throw parties and make money off of the party scene and the party culture, March madness, we only created, flyers around the March madness. But in the midst of March Madness, remember the 3 that's connected to the month of March has 2 energies. It has the joyful and the happiness energy, and it has the scandal and the reckless energy. And most people that enjoy or go to these March Madness events are going, yes, to be happy or joyful, but yet most of the time they get into scandals, whether it's with sexual scandals, whether it's this type of scandal, that type of scandal. That's why the madness is there. But I am pushing forth for a happiness. That's why it's important upon you and me, because when I talk to you, I'm talking to me. And I'm talking to all my ancestors within my DNA and within my RNA and my bloodline. And as well as talking to all your ancestors and in your DNA and your RNA and how you need to activate the strong numbers in you. And you could Google up the numbers. It's just that because of my in-depth study of the systems of numbers in particular, is that I have another insight and I always look at the other side of the picture in multiple dimensions. And I realized that I dream about numbers. And I one time, matter of fact, a few times in my meditation, a vortex opens, some type of opening happens in my closed eye meditation. And then I start seeing different numbers floating around in a gold background. And it comes to me regularly. And because I look at people as a number and I look at others as numbers and I look at the frequency of numbers, and when certain things happen, I consult the numbers because all of us have an intuition. And all of us need to recognize the deeper meaning of our intuition or our psychic abilities and use it for the benefit for ourselves and how we move, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationship, whether it's with whatever you're doing things with. Make sure you pay attention because even in a quote unquote negative relation, there was something you were supposed to learn. I was in 3 marriages. 2 of them were as a matter of fact, all 3 of them, the ones that I really confirmed as marriage, all 3 of them were religious people out of Islam. Different parts of Islam was in my life. One was out of the Ansarullah, which now is the Nuwapian nation. One of my first wife. My second wife was in the Nation of Islam. And my third wife was in Sunni Islam, which I love them immensely because up to this day, we are all best friends. And they are still in their own walk and their growth in those ways of life. And that's fine with me because everyone has their own personal march or their own personal path that they have to take. Each one of the little child that comes out of your mother's womb and that came through the man's spermatozoa, all of them, when that contract is signed to come to this realm, it is a contract that is signed for that particular child or entity that comes through the mother's womb and the father's spermatozoa to make something happen, whether positive or negative, whether they choose one path or another, they still have to march into their greatness and into their understanding, into their happiness. So they could either march into their happiness or you can march into your madness. So in March, happiness or madness, that's what we have to decide what we're going to do. Because a lot of our young people, and as I was young at one time, I'm 53 now, which I consider 8 years old because 5 plus 3 is 8. It is what it is. I still feel good. I'm still healthy. I'm drinking my smoothie right now. Delicious. I'm drinking my smoothie right now, keeping my health at a balanced level as I'm going into my 50s and going into my 60s, because you could tell, my youthful attitude starts with the right thinking attitude. And because I've learned to appreciate the greatness of my number and just my core numbers. That's why you see on my Cash App that 3158. Those are just core numbers, some of my core numbers in my birthday, not even in my name. And that's not even the pinnacle and the challenge stuff. That's just in my birthday equation. 3158. So I understand the appreciation of the number 3 because I understand the interpretation of the number 3. I can appreciate the number 3158 because I understand the high vibrational interpretation of the 3158. Those who know my Cash App is $King Simon 3158. And that 3158 was meant to be there because I put it there, because every time I look at it, I know I'm supposed to expand. I know I'm supposed to stay. 3 represents expansion. I use the one word interpretation. 3 represents expansion. 1 represents creativity. 5 represents flexibility. 8 represents money, power, and legacy. So it's constantly a reminder to me. And I can, in my sessions, I can give you 4 number sigils, so to speak, or 4 number interpretive numbers that's connected to you, so you can always resonate on those one meaning interpretations of each of your number, because each of you have the numbers also. So I respect all of you that are watching in. And like I said, I'm not going to keep too long. I'm not, like I said, it's about appreciating the numbers that you're born with, your birth numbers, the name numbers. Remember, each one of your names can be connected to a number, because numerology, in its ancient and most proficient science, and the patterns that it shows, numerology is the only system that transposes letters into numbers. So where A might be 1 and B might be 2 or 3 and C might be 3 or D might be 4 in the Pythagorean system, and then it might be something else in the Chaldean system. So again, we're into March, going into the spring equinox. What are you going to accept in your life? Are you going to accept happiness, or are you going to accept March madness? I'll say it again. Are you going to accept March happiness or March madness? Because one thing in a 2020 energy, like I've been saying on Brother Richard's show and on this platform, the negative or the lower frequency of 2020 is illusions and delusions being cast through technology, because the 2 plus a 0 plus a 2 plus a 0 equals 4. And 4 is also rules technology and media and television. So they're going to use, and the negative of all of that is the delusions and the illusions being cast and people not being clear in the communication. And they're not going to be clear communicating to us over media either, as you can see already. People are not sure. Even the president, he's not sure. Everything is all right. Everything is cool. They're not sure about certain things, because number 4 brings about the weird and unusual and strange. But in order for us to offset that and navigate through that, the solution is clear vision, staying awake, being careful about our judgment of ourselves and others around us, but also staying structured, disciplined, organized to serve the greater purpose, not only for yourself first, but also for your family and the nation around you. So I'm very careful about when I come on different platforms and how I speak, because I'm never going to try to put you into no scare, because where there's a storm, there's always a calm. So, okay, coronavirus might be the new storm, but there is a calm. And the emphasis is for you to calm your mind, calm your thoughts, maintain a discipline in your mind, maintain meditative mindset. Because I get a lot of people texting me and emailing me from different parts of the world saying that I'm going through this and going through that. And if you are going through certain thought patterns of thinking about hurting yourself or being depressed, this is the time to talk to people. This is the time to contact a hotline or get into therapy, because the 4 rules, the mental depression, mental worry, all that stuff is ruled by the number 4. And +2 + 0 + 2 + 0 = 4. 2020, we are in a mental state of mind right now, and people are mentally taking in things. But I want you to stay on a positive level. Focus, learn how to balance what is coming to you. You know, even somebody put neutralize the ego. Even when people say that, ego to me has duality also, because you have etching God out, one of the acronyms, or expanding God's origin, or expanding God's origin and greatness in some sense. So I see the duality in ego. I see duality in all the things, because there's always a positive and negative in every little thing, every word. I can see it even when I do the numerology of it. But that person is right. Neutralizing the ego, the negative part of ego, but understanding there's a positive part of you growing, external growth, by using, because it's the ego that propels you to be your best, because now you've made that conscious decision to move forward. And there's a negative when you carry arrogance with it. But if you keep it on a positive level and understand and manage the negative of the ego and enhance the positive of the ego, then you could be a greater individual in how you disseminate information and how you receive information. But there is duality. Don't think that there's no duality in the word ego. So respect to that person, Deshaun, that dropped that, neutralize the ego. He is absolutely right. Neutralizing, meaning put it on a neutral level. It has to be positive. You have to understand it both. That's why I always quote a pastor born on August the 10th. His name was A.R. Bernard. I went to one of his lectures, and I means I was supposed to be there, because he says you had to learn to manage your weaknesses and strengthen your strength. Manage your weaknesses and strengthen your strength. That's what it's all about. So in this March cleansing madness, please, March happiness versus March madness, which one are you going to accept? And remember, appreciate your numbers. You could do your own research if you want. And if you want to do a session with me, please, by all means, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. Do not call me, because I get so much hits. I'm better with the texting. And then when it's time to set up the session and we do what we got to do, we'll make it happen. And we can talk all we want, because it is a conversational event. And a conversational session with me. And I don't do readings per se. You know yourself. I do numerovation activation. I want you to activate your numbers. I want you to use it. And it's not, and let me tell you something, family. A lot of people think it's going to come overnight. It's microwave. Look, this ain't no microwave. It didn't take microwave to make this. I had to make my own. I had to make my own walnut milk, and I had to get my sea moss, and it didn't take microwave to do this. I still it has to go through a process to make a good smoothie. So please understand this, family, that in order for you to appreciate your greatness in your numbers and balance off this March happiness versus March madness. I say don't get into, be happy, but don't get into the madness of the March. And because we're going into marching into spring, cleanse yourself, detox your mind, clean out your house prior to the spring, because spring represents new beginning, a quote unquote new year in nature. So detox yourself, detox your home. Under your bed, if you still got shoes and all kind of bull crap under, clean it out. Lift up your bed, flip the bed. In Jamaica, we used to take the mattress out in Jamaica and bang all of the follicles of hair and skin off of the bed. Wash your stuff out. Take emphasis in the care of yourself. Understand who you are in the March happiness versus the March madness. And remember, numerovational love. Each number has an interpretation that's been passed down throughout generations. And one thing I was watching, I was up, I'm up to like 4 in the morning, and then I get up again like 4 hours later. But I'm studying, and I was taking in this theoretical physicist named Jim Gates. Check out this brother. He Jim Gates, and he was with Margaret. I forgot her last name, but I was checking them out online. I think they was at the American Museum of Science or something in the background. I seen that. But what I appreciate about those two sciences, when the lady kept on throwing Pythagoras, the brother Jim Gates or James Gates said, remember, Pythagoras' theorem came thousands of years before Pythagoras. He said it basically came 1,000 years, which in the studies of numbers, yes, he went and studied for 22 years amongst the darker people and the people of Huda, India, the people of Kemet, he studied amongst them and then brought it back to Greece. And then that European woman had to say, you're right. Africa had these type of counting systems, and she even said it out of her mouth. So if you get a chance, Google up Jim Gates or James Gates. He's born December the 15th, which is an educational number. And she's born, I believe, either April the 20th or August the 20th. No, she's born August the 20th because I remember she was born the same day as KRS-One. She's born August the 20th, and that's also an educational number. 20 is also an educational number and a deep, but she's also into the art. And when I read her whole life path, it added up to a number 6. So she's into art. She's into sensitivity, art, and dealing with putting mathematics with art and all that. Her name is Margaret Weinthal or something like that. A woman from out of Europe, but that resides now here in America, in California, and she's born August the 20th. And the brother there, Jim Gates, born December the 15th, the same day as the Oracle, the one, the only Sophia Stewart. They're born the same day, which I found it quite interesting, and how educating and how much he was into math and education from a young child. He recognized he needed to be into something. So check them out on YouTube if you get a chance. I shared it on my Facebook. If you're on my Facebook page, that's King Simon on Facebook. I'm gonna share it on King Simon Production because not everybody's on Facebook, but you can go to my public fan page, King Simon Production. I'm going to share it on there and watch that 1 hour and a half. Is the universe mathematics? That's what they're speaking. The mystery of the universe being mathematics, and they was going in from a scientific perspective and then touching on the Pythagorean energy. And that's really important. So, again, like I said, I'm not going to be up here for a long time. I'm not going to be up here for a long time. And what is interesting is that throughout my life, I've recognized how significant numbers were to me, even when I wasn't paying attention to it. Even when I wasn't paying attention. And every time when somebody asks about me, when I wanted to hurt myself, there was specific numbers that were my challenge numbers, and that was depressive numbers. And the 4, 7, and 8 was the strong ones, and 4, 7, and 8 was the strong ones at that time. So that person that asked that, 4, 7, and 8 were the strong depressive numbers and cycles that I was in at that time. And 4, 7, and 8, and 5 can be mental depressive numbers, or mental fatigue, or mental frustration going through frustration in my life. So I know those numbers correlate with the times when I wanted to hurt myself. So to give you that answer, that person that just answered, that is the time. So that's why I had to offset it with music. I can't tell you how many times One Love by Bob Marley saved my life, or by Luciano, Lord Give Me Strength. How songs, you can go back into time and listen to good healing vibe song. Ain't No Stopping Me Now. Those type of songs kept my energy up because I had to listen to Tony Rebel, Jah Give Me Strength. If Jah is standing by my side, those numbers was very powerful for me. Those numbers. No. Don't call us set bar tacky. That was, she asked the question, and that was good, because I don't mind talking about it, because it's going to be in my book too. It wasn't disrespectful. No. Some people, especially with people with a lot of R's, with that bar, when you have a lot of R's in your name, they say what they mean and mean what they say, especially, and they got to be very careful of how they relate to people in their conversation. So respect to us bars. All right. Don't disrespect that person. Show them respect, because I see the vibration of the numbers, and I was going to pass it, but I said I'm going to answer it, because I respect that person for answering, because it's a true something did. So, at points in my life, the vibration of the numbers was connected to me. So don't disrespect. Matter of fact, show them love. Show us bar love. Show them love, because like I said, I see it in their numbers where they can. Sometimes people misunderstand them. I can see it, and I'm not even looking at their birthday. I'm just looking at the name, because the name tells me a lot too. Ooh, I'm so good at this, because the creative blessed me with this. That's why I didn't disrespect that person, and I'm gonna show them love. Please, everyone in there, please show us bar love, because that was from their essence, and they wanted to find out, maybe they're going through something and you don't know. And I got to respect that, because remember, my first part of almost taking out my life was at the age of 8 years old. And 8 is one of my challenge numbers in numerology. Go figure. 8 was one of my challenge numbers, and I almost took my life out at 8 years old. So I'm born 1967, plus 8 equals 1975. So in that year alone, 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5 equals 22. So I was in a master 22 year. 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Again. You see what I'm saying? I was 8 years old. I was in a master number 22 years, which are 2 mental, disturbing, depressive numbers on its negative. They have that. So I understood this. You understand? And I just did the addition right here in my phone, because that was about 1975 when that happened. So I understand that 1975 was the master number 22 year, and I was in my 8-year cycle. Go figure. And when you're going through, I was at 8 years old, but that was master number. And when you're going through the combination of these mental numbers, you got to be very mindful of the advanced energy that comes. So at 8 years old, I didn't know where all this negative energy was coming. All I know is that my family was talking a certain way about me. The people at school was talking a certain way about me. Didn't realize I was in my challenge year, and I didn't realize I was in my challenge year of 8. I didn't even know numerology then. That's how deep it was. So you can find, if you find yourself having a lot of 4s, 7s, 8s, and 5s in your chart, in that order, because those are the mental frustration numbers, mental fatigue numbers, the mental numbers, so to speak, on it, and it can go down depression or frustration. You know what I'm saying? Those are the numbers. And remember, these numbers run through your chart every day, go through from day to day, month to month, year to year. So you could be you could be not connected to a number 7 or number 4, but be in a number 7 year, a number 7 month, a number 7 day, and go through sometime. I remember one time I didn't even look at my calendar because my calendar is kind of set up differently than y'all, where I know my personal month now as of March kicked in. I'm in my 10th personal month, which is a 1. So 1 plus today, which is a 1, will be 2. So I'm in my 2 personal day cycle because I set up my calendar different than everybody else. You might look at March 1st or just March 1st, but when you start correlating and connecting it with your birthday, it's a total different thing. You know what I'm saying? So I remember one time working out in the park. And after I finished working out, a deep depression just fell upon me that I started crying as I was walking away from the park. And then I started multiplying, adding up stuff in my head. And I said, oh, I'm in my 7th personal day. Woo! So I had to catch myself. So I don't see, once you understand your mathematics, once you understand your numerovation, you can catch it, nip it in the bud before it goes even further. So I'm glad I caught it right after I left the park, after I worked out and had a good workout. Training, martial arts, rollouts, flying rollouts, doing all kinds of stuff with my hands and seeing and doing 52 blocks and some jujitsu and aikido movements and all that, because I do multiple styles. I've been doing multiple styles since 85. But I was training, and then, but something just, I didn't even know where this frequency, but remember, the brain is a transmitter and a receiver. So wherever it came from, I had to catch it fast. I had to catch it fast, you know? And remember, every number has its low and high frequencies, its low and high vibration. I just implore all of you to stay on your highest vibration all the time. Stay on your highest vibration all the time. Stop letting the low vibrations take you. Please stay on the highest vibration all the time, or strive to stay on the highest vibration all the time, because the numbers will help guide you to understand the positive, and stay on the positive of it. It's all right. Stay on the positive of it. Stay on the positive. When the negative come in, then find an outlet to release it. Whether you get in therapy, whether you need to talk to somebody, whether you need to call suicide hotline, Google suicide hotline and keep it on your speed dial. If you know you're one that suffers from depression a lot, go get a therapist, please. Because in those times, we didn't acknowledge therapy and all that. We just, no, man, am I right? Especially my family. No, man, am I right? All I need is a beating. My family was funny. No, man, all I need is a beating. No, man, all I need is give him a lollipop. No, man, give him some beer. My uncle used to give me Colt 45. Oh, gosh. And to put me to sleep. Or they would give me Guinness. Or anybody that's from the Caribbean know they have the Guinness punch. A punch made like this, and to put me to sleep, because I had so much energy. I was so full of energy back in the day. And anybody who know me on stage from the reggae world know when I get on stage, I'm hyped. So I've had those type of energy bursts when I was young, and they used to try to calm me the heck down because I had so much energy. It wasn't ADHD. We didn't even know what ADHD and none of that craziness was. I just had energy. And usually these vaccines and these Ritalin and medicine like Umar Johnson talks about and all that, these things shut down that energy. Maybe your child is supposed to learn something different. Maybe your child is not supposed to be in a European school being taught the same way that they're usually taught. Their teaching system dumbs us down. We're supposed to be an application. We're supposed to be in the midst of it and learn from applying it right there like we did in Africa and did in certain ancient cultures. We learn from application of the fire, learn from manipulating of the air and all of the alchemy. We learn through alchemy. That's how we learn. Because I was very good at math. Sometimes in high school, let me tell you, I used to go to Erasmus Hall, right? So, man, me and my friends be smoking weed all day. And weed was better. I don't know what they smoking today. But back in the day, we smoked weed all day. I go into class, pass my test 98, 100, and I walk right out the class. My teacher, I forgot it. My teacher was Mr. Wyndham. Mr. Wyndham and Erasmus back in the 80s. And he used to say, he said, yo, where y'all going? Yo, hey, look, You just gave me a passing grade. You gave me 98 on my math test. Do I need to sit here anymore? I used to just leave to go smoke some more weed with my friends, which end up not being friends because I don't even hang out with friends like that. Man, I must have developed trust issues because friends almost got me killed back in the day. Oh, man. But remember, in closing, family, like I said, appreciate your numbers. And remember, this is March. They call this is the month of March as we're springing into spring around the equinox of 21st, 22nd. Start your cleansing. Prepare. You got 21 days to do this cleanse. And I'm not just talking about your body, but outside in your house, in your home. If you got to do some new paint and repair, do some new stuff, preparing for this spring. Cleanse out, detox, cleanse under your bed, cleanse your garage, cleanse your room. What you don't need, give away. Put a blessings on what you want to give away. Give it to the Salvation Army. Give it to the Goodwill. Give it away so you could be open for the new beginnings and the new stuff coming in for spring. Believe me, And believe me, family, if you learn your numerovation and your numbers, it will be helpful in guiding you. It's not the is all or be all, but it's like a GPS. It gives you guidance. And I'm not talking about that GPS that take you all over the place. The only reason to take you all over the place is because they see something coming and they see some obstruction along the path. So they take you around the other way so you could avoid the traffic. And that's what numerology or my numerovation does. It takes you. I see obstructions in your name and your I see challenges. And so I learned to help guide you. So when it does come to you, you'll understand calm and storm, that there's always sun and rain, or sunshine and snowstorm. There's always that balance. So do what you have to do in the calm, during the calm times, do what you have to do, but doing the prepare and everything, but during the storm times, make sure you buckle down, make sure you're ready for it. And that's what it's all about. So in closing, family, please share this once more. Please share it with the family, share it with the friends. If you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. I'll put it in the description bar, 347-496-1022. I suggest getting a session with everybody that you know that's doing it. Miss Blue, she's excellent in what she does. Brother Panic and his wife is excellent at what they do. Cosmo Physics, my brother Raku is excellent what he does. Quiet Storm is excellent what she does. Lloyd Strayhorn, the Baba, he's excellent what he does. Aquarius Maximus at Cardology, she's excellent at what she does. And Blue Pill through the 44 message is excellent at what he does. But if you want to do a serious numerovation session for a half an hour to an hour, come to your brother. I reinvented that. I don't want to say I invented it, but I reinvented because I put the two energies together of numbers and motivation. So I can say I invented it because it is a word in the Urban Dictionary. If you Google it up, numerovation, it's gonna come straight to me, King Simon Kwaku. So and that is I'm proud of that, and I'm happy that it will be able to help people in the centuries to come, because once I've studied with a lot of these motivational speakers and studied all this stuff, boom. And those who want to learn the basics of numerology, hey, Lloyd Strayhorn is teaching a class on Udemy right now, udemy.com. Lloyd Strayhorn, numerology. Go to udemy.com and go get take his basic class in numbers. When I teach a class, I teach it live. So it costs a little bit more. And because I'm live and I'm only taking in 10 to 14, 13 to 14 people, and I want to be able to answer your questions along the route. I give you a curriculum of how the 4-week course will go. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do it yet for March. I was going to do it at the end of March, but I got so much going on. It's going to be hard for me to just, put that down and do it. So I do implore everyone to go to Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. This brother has been in it for 40 years. He knows what he's talking about. And I'll big up his book and big up my book also. My book. Let's big up Lloyd and my book, because these are Black-owned books. These are Black-owned and operated book companies. Lloyd Strayhorn's book, Numbers and You, get both of them at the same time. And my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Get both of them because we come from two different perspectives, but still along the same route. And I do mention Lloyd. I do mention Lloyd in this book. And in the back of my book, I give you a recommended reading. So if you want to delve in deep into numbers, you can also go in the back of my book. Get both of them at the same time. Go on Amazon and Kindle and get both of our books at the same time. And you'll get the basics, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to really apply the information. Udemy, that's Udemy. I'm sorry, it's Udemy, UDEMY.com, and then go for the search, Lloyd Strayhorn. That's Udemy. He has a course right there right now. Matter of fact, before the 28, it was only $12.99. Now I think it's up to $100 something, but it was $12.99. But Lloyd has a very good basic class. My Numerovation is based off of numbers like that, but it's a whole different energy because I go through numerology holistically. So I will touch on the tarot, I'll touch on the gematria, I'll touch on the Kabbalah, I will touch on the Abjad, I'll touch on wherever my spirit lead me in a numerology session or a Numerovation session. That's what I touch on. That's where I go. And please go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's King Simon Productions .wordpress.com. You can find out my bio, find out who I am and what I've been through, and that's really a brief bio. And also, and if you want to come to any of the events, let me big up the events. King Simon Productions, .eventbrite.com. I have some great events coming up. I got Professor James Smalls coming in the building. Professor James Smalls is going to be doing African spirituality and how to apply it on Saturday, April the 18th. African spirituality and how to apply it. It's an all-day interactive workshop, Q&A, and everything with food included. It's $77 for 7 hours. So think about this, 777 divided into 7 hours equals $11 an hour. You can't get this because his consultation or his lectures are even more, but this $11 an hour, you can't beat it. Right now, before April the 4th, it's $77. After April the 4th, it'll be $99. So get your chance to get there, go to Eventbrite. And remember, the next day, he's doing a 3-hour public event at Nicholas, Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. And that's April 18th and April 19th with Professor James Smalls. You've seen him on Hidden Colors. He's a consultant of The Godfather in Harlem and all that. And don't forget, March 22nd, the debate Brother Sonetta is doing. Brother Garfield versus Brother Jabari, Brother Captain Tazariak versus Brother Minister Dr. Vince Bantu, and that's happening at St. Francis College on March 22nd. And that's going to be in Brooklyn. Go to Sonetta TV for that. Or if you want to vend, you can also contact me for that. I am handling the vending there. And don't forget, Brother Rich is doing something with Billy Carson on May the 23rd. That's going to be an all-day interactive workshop. 2020 is all about foundation laying. It's all about putting in the work, internal work as well as external work, because the two in numerology represents the intuition, the deeper intuition, the sensitivity. So we got to go in. So I'm glad Billy Carson is doing that. And what's so funny, Billy Carson is born on September the 4th, and this is 2020, which adds up to a 4. So it's a good year for him to do all this stuff. And because after y'all do the workshop with Billy Carson, for the next 30 days, you will have access to him via WhatsApp. You can't beat that. And it's going to be, I think it's $199. Go to Black Magic 363. It's $199 for the whole day workshop. Question and answer, Q&A, all of that he's going to be dropping. That's $199. And it's a good price. Very good price, because I was at his workshop in Fort Lauderdale and it was $149. I paid for it immediately because I knew I would get something from it. And what's so funny, if those who've been watching me on my YouTube page, know that I lost, Greyhound misplaced my bag. I don't even want to say lost. They misplaced my bag. And some of the notes, all the notes that I took at his place, at his workshop, I lost it. But it just goes to show me, remember, your mind takes in everything. So it's still here. And it's been in my life for years because I've been talking about that and learning about that for years. Even a good book that I suggest, that Brother Rich suggested to us back in the day, about a year ago, Brother Rich suggested this book to us, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Very good book by Joseph Murray. And this book was written in what year? 2007. So a couple of years ago, Rich referred this book to me, but it's a good book for y'all to get in your collection and read it. Sometimes you could just jump to one page and whatever they say in that paragraph will help you. But this has been helping me. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Unlock your master key to success. And basically that is what my brother Billy Carson teaches, and comes from the ancient science out of Kemet and all the ancient science that he's gone through his travels. So that's going to be good. That's May the 22nd. And then June the 20th at a private location, only 55 people is allowed. Also with Professor Smalls, only 55 people is allowed. June the 20th, myself, Lloyd Strayhorn, and astrologer extraordinaire, this beautiful sister named Quiet Storm. When I say she's a quiet storm, you're going to say, wow, not only does she look good, but her mind is good. Quiet Storm. And she going to come with the astrology while Lloyd teach astro numerology, while I teach numerovation and how to activate that stuff. All what they say is all about activating it at the end of the day. After all what they say, it's all about activating it for yourself at the end of the day. Look, family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. If you are across the seas or in another continent, please use WhatsApp to text me at 347-496-1022. If you are across the seas in Canada, or you in another part of the world, Canada, whether it's Africa, whether it's the Caribbeans, use WhatsApp at 347-496-1022. But if you're in America, you text me via 347-496-1022, or DM me in King Simon Productions on IG. That's King Simon Productions on IG, or Numeroversity on IG, where I drop only the number stuff. King Simon Production, I drop a multitude of various things, events, all like that. But in Numeroversity, it's only about numbers or some astrology, whatever. That's what I do. And then hit me up on Twitter also. I'll be a Twitter friend of mine. That's King Simon Prod. That's King Simon PROD. Thank you very much. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Love and respect to all of you. Sincerely respect you all. Remember, get our book, get my books. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. No promotion is bad promotion, and all publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right and get my children's book called Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important. And in this book, I'm part of this legacy too with Queen of Four. I'm on page 158, breaking down promotions and health. And that's Planet Heal. Lloyd is also in the book. Dr. Africa is a whole compilation of different writers inside this book. Get it, Planet Heal, Volume 1. And also those that are down with my sister Queen Neat in any capacity, I'm supposed to be teaching a class on Queen Neat's platform, a private class at Queen Neat's platform online. So look out for that. That's coming up. And anything else I have to promote? No, not really. Don't have to promote anything else. But like I said, March Madness versus March Happiness. Please stay on a happy vibration. Peace, love, and stay focused. Take care. King Simon is out.